This was cut out to be the greatest vintage ever in Bordeaux. People are talking about comparisons with 2005, 2000, and then of course 1982. I'm just not quite convinced yet that we're on those sort of levels. David and I have been up to the right bank. Pomeroy's a little bit worried about them. There's some sort of flavour in the sort of Cabernet Franc that I'm not really quite getting on. Some stars, some very good wines, but others that would concern me. I've heard rave reviews from someone else. I'm not absolutely convinced by that. Love the Saint-Emilions. Again, there are clear stars. Trolon Mondo, absolutely fabulous. Pavé Macquin, not a wine that completely clenches your palate and destroys it, but actually much softer and supple than previous vintages. And really like Chateau Larmande, despite the absence of the lovely blonde that normally pours it out. It's a really super wine. We've had a look at the 07 as well. We're going to pile into that. A very good wine. So all in all, pretty good on the right bank. Went to see Johnny Mortars, really like the Chateau Tessier, and also remind me of the name of the next wine up that we really liked.
La Forge.
The Chateau La Forge, what a plum wine. It's going to come out at sub £30. That's another cracker, and of course he's gone nuts about La Dome. Expensive but very impressive. It's only a Grand Cru Saint-Emilion. It's going to be punchy charging £1,000 for that, but even so, one hell of a good wine. Here we are, day 2 on the left bank. First impressions up, we've just tasted about 100 Cru Bourgeois au Medoc. There are clear winners and losers. People are trying to get too much out of some of the wines, but I tell you what, there are the traditional Jascots wines like Palumi, Chateau d'Agassac, Chateau La Tour de Mons. Really super wines, really nicely put together. Well, here we are at Chateau Cantemel. Little bit of a funny one here. Classic wines like Cantemel itself, little bit lightweight, something slightly lacking there, not really delivering the killer blow. Other wines that we've bought in the past, absolutely perfect wines like Chasse-Spleen, a sort of must-have wine, never really delivered. La Lagune itself, normally an absolutely stalwart production, just slightly lacking in depth there, not really delivering a big vintage sort of taste. However, there are some other very strange wines here, wines like Chateau Clark that would normally be a perennial underachiever. Really quite a nice wine. Wouldn't buy it, but not a bad drop. And another wine that always is absolutely undrinkable, a real class act in terms of a poor delivery, but actually made quite a decent one, is Chateau Couffron. Of course, don't touch it with a barge pole because it's not that good, but even so, it's quite a good wine and certainly the best one I've tasted in 20 years of coming to the Primeurs.
So you've still got to be convinced of all the hype that this is the best vintage ever?
Do you know what I have? I just look back at 2005 when everything was sublime. I look back at 2000 when nobody missed a beat, even the most dull wines, even Croisé Bars that Robert Parker described as being life is too short to drink Croisé Bars. That was a hell of a good wine, and so I would have expected the likes of Cantemel and La Lagune to deliver such a lot of pleasure, but they didn't. There are good wines here, but you have to be selective, there's no doubt about that.